Grab your snacks, ladies, because later this month, the entire NFL is heading to Pittsburgh for the draft. And today, I'm making sure you understand exactly what's happening without all of the confusion sports jargon. Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever watched a draft and had no idea what was going on? The NFL draft looks exciting until you realize you don't understand half what's going on. Let's get into it. Football is more than just a game. It's a year-round party, and not everyone speaks the language. Here we break it down in real time, fun, simple, and judgment-free. Welcome to Football for Her, where anyone can learn the NFL from a woman's perspective. I'm Dee Dee, raised in a football family. Stick with me, and you'll speak football for her as well. Let's talk football. Welcome back. This is episode 8 of Football for Her. I'm your host, Dee Dee, and I am so glad that you're here. We're officially in draft month, and the energy in the sports world is going crazy right now. But before we get into the draft, I promised to give you the answer to last week's trivia question. I asked you which NFL team currently has the longest active playoff drought. If you put in the comments the New York Jets, then you are correct. The poor Jets haven't made it to the playoffs since 2010. It has been 15 long years since that fan base had an opportunity to see their team make it to the playoffs. This season, hopefully they'll turn it around. Now, let's get into today's goal. This is a big one because the NFL draft is one of the most exciting moments in football. But if we're being real, it can also be one of the most confusing. Today, we are stripping away all of the draft confusion. We aren't doing complicated stats or weird terminology. I'm just going to give you the basics. We're going to go into the ground level blueprints on how the NFL draft actually works. So, when you're sitting around TV later this month, you can watch it like an absolute pro. So you're not just watching, you're actually going to know what's going on. Now it's time for our newest segment, Pre-Game Spread. But before we get to business, we have to talk about our pre-game spread because you cannot watch the draft on an empty stomach. This week, we're going to do a set it and forget it lifesaver, the 4-ingredient crock-pot buffalo chicken dip. It's completely foolproof. All you need is 2 cups of shredded chicken. Grab a rotisserie chicken from the store to make it easy. 1 pack of cream cheese, a half cup of buffalo sauce, and a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. You literally throw all of the ingredients into your slow cooker on low for about 2 hours. That's it. It's the ultimate podcast snack. So make sure you try it. And don't forget, I am going live on draft day. So I will be here with you if you're here with me on day 1. It's time for the word of the week. Word of the week. All right. So let's get into our word of the week. If you're going to watch the draft, you're going to hear this phrase every 5 minutes. The phrase is on the clock. Okay? When a team is on the clock, it means it's officially their turn to pick a player. The NFL literally starts a countdown timer. Like, they are literally on the clock. And that team has a set amount of minutes to make their choice, trade their pick away, or lose their spot. It's the most high-pressure countdown in sports. So what actually is the NFL draft? The draft is when the NFL teams selects new players coming out of college. Instead of the players choosing teams, the teams actually choose the players. Think of it like an ultimate corporate job fair but specifically for 21-year-old athletes. The draft is how college football players officially and legally get hired to work in the NFL. But it's not a free-for-all. The NFL has a golden rule, and that rule is parity, which is just a fancy word for fairness. The league wants to give struggling teams a chance to rebuild. So, the absolute worst team from last season gets to pick first. And the Super Bowl champions, they wait all the way until the end. They're in the back of the line and they pick last. Makes it fair. The whole event is 7 rounds long and it's stretched over 3 days. Usually Thursday, Friday, nights, and all day Saturday. There are 32 teams in the NFL, which means there are 32 picks in a single round. So how do they actually stretch 7 rounds across an entire weekend? Wow. Let me break it down exactly what happens on each of the 3 days so that you can know how to tune in, right? Okay, so on day 1, Thursday night, the VIP section. This year is Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. I will actually go live on that day for you guys. Day 1 is about round 1 only. This is the absolute VIP section of the draft. These are the top 32 players in the entire country, and this is where you get the most drama, the red carpet, the custom suits, because these picks are so important. Every single team gets a full 10 minutes on the clock to make their selection or negotiate a massive trade. If you only watch one day of the draft, this is the day you want to be sitting on the couch for. So yes, it's long, but we mostly care about round 1, right? Day 2, Friday night, the starters. Day 2 covers rounds 2 and 3. The glitz and glamour died down, but just a little bit. The players that are being drafted are still incredibly talented, and they're usually expected to step on the field and play immediately. The pace of the night speeds up too. Teams only get 7 minutes to make their picks in round 2 and only 5 minutes in round 3. So that's how Friday night goes. It's quick, but you still want to tune in to Friday night. I just will not be going live Friday night. Day 3, the marathon. Day 3 is an all-day event, and it is an absolute marathon. This covers rounds 4 all the way to 7. Teams are on a strict 5-minute timer per pick, and they are moving fast. The players are drafted on Saturday are usually the guys that's going to be solid backups, guys who play special teams, or those hidden gems who need a little bit coaching before they're ready for the spotlight. Remember, Tom Brady was picked in round 6. And at the very end of round 7, the absolute last player drafted gets the legendary title of Mr. Irrelevant. But as we talked about last week with Brock Purdy, sometimes the last guy picked ends up being the biggest star. But now, here's where it gets spicy, the trade factors. Teams don't just have to sit there and wait for their turn. They treat their draft picks like currency. So a team might say, we want a player so bad, we're going to move up. Another team might say, we'll take more picks instead, so they'll trade them. So if a team is sitting at pick number 15, but they're absolutely in love with a quarterback who they know will be gone by pick 3, they can trade their future draft picks to jump in line and go for their guy. And that is it. That is the basic blueprint of the draft. The worst goes first. It has 7 rounds, and it's a lot of trading. I'll tell you, last year, we talked about this before, how the Giants had 2 first-round picks. We had the 3rd pick overall, which we drafted Abdul Carter, but we absolutely needed a quarterback. And so they went the 25th overall, and they drafted Jackson Dart. And as fans, we kind of love him. So we're glad they did that. All right, so why it matters. The draft is where teams fill missing positions, future stars enter the league, and this is how teams rebuild. Okay, so besties, let me break it down for you. Let me explain it like this. The draft is like shopping on a budget, because remember, they have the caps, salary caps, right? You can spend big early, save it for later, or trade to get what you really want. But every decision affects the team's future. Okay? Okay, now let's be honest. Have you ever watched the draft just for the outfits and reactions? Because, same. Last year, I really wanted to see what the legendary Shedeur Sanders was going to be wearing. But now, you're about to actually understand what's happening behind the scenes. You no longer need anybody else to explain what's going on. Or you don't have to just sit there and wonder what's next. All right. Guess what I just heard? Okay, let me tell you what I heard. First up in the rumor mill, the Dallas Cowboys are trying to cause absolute chaos. Okay, so the Dallas Cowboys have reportedly had discussions with the Arizona Cardinals about moving up to the 3rd spot in the draft to select David Bailey from the Texas Tech, according to the draft analyst Todd McShay. I can see it now. Jerry Jones on the phone trying to make it happen. They want to keep him in state, but remember what we talked about earlier. To jump all the way up to number 3, Dallas would have to mortgage their future and trade away a massive fortune of draft picks to the Arizona Cardinals, okay? It is a huge gamble. So keep your eye on Jerry Jones on draft night to see if he actually pulls the trigger. And if that wasn't enough drama, we have a literal bidding war happening right now between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. Both of these front offices are reportedly obsessed with a wide receiver named Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana. He just helped Indiana win a national title, and scouts are comparing him to Deebo Samuel because he is an absolute weapon after he catches the ball. The Jets are sitting back, hoping he slips into round 2 so that they can grab him. But the rumors are saying that the Steelers are ready to aggressively snatch him up early in the 1st round to ruin the Jets' plan. The drama of the draft is already here. So, girlies, who do you think is going to win that bidding war? Let me know. Okay, so New York Giants news. New York Giants star defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence has requested a trade. He's driven by frustration over his contract, team performance, and management. The 3-time Pro Bowler, who is skipping off-season workouts, seeks a new deal reflecting his value, but may also be using this as leverage. Now, the new head coach, John Harbaugh, isn't closing the door on Big Blue reconciling things with the star defensive tackle. Tuesday, he was asked about the prospects of Lawrence remaining as a Giant, and he said, "We'll find out. I think the prospects are going to be high because the Giants, speaking for the Giants, we want Dexter here, Harbaugh added. I believe Dexter wants to be here as well. You know, it's a good formula, but there's business involved. That's all for the rumors this week. That's what I heard. It's trivia time. All right, besties. Before we get out of here, I have a trivia question for you. Since our word of the week is on the clock, I want to know how many minutes does an NFL team get to make their selection during the crucial first round of the draft? Okay? Think about it. Drop your guesses in the comments, and I will give you the official answer at the top of next week's episode. Okay? Now you have the blueprint. When the draft kicks off in Pittsburgh, you are going to know exactly how the board works. Make sure you tune in next week for episode 9 because we're taking it a step further and talking about what these teams are actually looking for when they spend a first round pick. Huge shout out to everyone in the Facebook group and in the comments this week. I see you. I love building this community with you. Remember to protect your blind side and make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And I will see you next time on Football for Her, where football finally makes sense. All right, everyone. It's time for the Football for Her $500 NFL Draft Challenge. Let's get into it. One winner will receive $500 if they correctly predict all 32 players selected in the first round of the NFL draft. But here's the catch. This contest will only activate if the Football for Her community reaches 10,000 combined followers on Facebook and YouTube. Once we hit that goal, you'll be able to submit your full first round predictions. From everyone who correctly predicts all 32 players drafted in the first round, one winner will be randomly selected to receive $500. If no one correctly predicts all 32 picks, there will not be a winner. So make sure you follow the page on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and start studying that draft board. And remember, this is Football for Her, where football finally makes sense.